Hi, I'm Eric Manser from Nanigans, and this is The Playbook. We love getting emails here at The Playbook. Lauren from New York sent us one this week, and she writes, "Hi Eric, how do I get my old media boss to understand LTV? Can you give me an example?" Well, Lauren, I just happen to have examples locked and loaded for you. See, your use of the term old media boss and your location of New York makes me think you probably work for a multi-channel retailer that for a very long time talked about lifetime value in a combination of two things, putting much more heavy weight on loyalty and a little less weight on the targeting that you're doing with your advertising. Now, we'll talk about loyalty in just a second, but let's talk about targeting first. I'm going to tell a story, a tale of two shoppers, two women who are very similar to one another. They both have pretty high disposable income, and they were both targeted through the use of lookalike audiences on, let's say, Facebook or Instagram. Now, first, there's Natalie. Natalie shops around. She varies her purchases, and she doesn't really necessarily stick to one brand. And then there's Joni, who's somewhat loyal. She sticks to the brand she likes. She spends a lot of money within the brand that she cares for. Now, since we were talking about lookalike audiences, and we're doing a little split screen, last time we did that was during our lookalike audiences episode, and you could tell that Natalie is born from a 5% lookalike audience, and Joni from a 1% lookalike audience. So now we talk about attribution. When Natalie and Joni signed up for your site, they gave you their email addresses. And with that, you can place a user ID. So now you know Natalie and Joni every time they come back and add to cart, every time they come back and purchase once, and every time they come back and purchase a subsequent time. See, that's the thing. Both Natalie and Joni are gonna buy something, but Joni, she's gonna come back and keep on buying, increasing the lifetime value. So since you've got that attribution, you can actually see when Joni buys more. You can see it attributed back to the 1% lookalike audiences that you're targeting on Facebook and Instagram, which means you can continue to push your bids up and be more aggressive in targeting your 1% lookalike audience because there's greater lifetime value there. Now, let's talk about loyalty for a second. Gone are the days where you can send out direct mailers with coupons that are going to bring people back for a 15 to 20% off weekend, or signing somebody up for a unique charge card that can only be used at your store. That's still around in a very general sense, but the best way to build loyalty now is through the email addresses that you gathered from the users that you got in the first place. So those email addresses can be turned around into custom lists on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or you can use pixel-based retargeting for when somebody comes to your site and looks at something or buys something, and then you can retarget them once again. No better way to build loyalty in an online space than retargeting them and bringing them back through the same methodology you got them in the first place. So here's an example. Let's say Joni bought a dress about a week ago, and now you show her a pixel-based retargeted ad of a pair of shoes that perfectly matches that dress. If Joni buys those shoes, well, if that's not the definition of LTV, then I don't know what is. To wrap things up, Lauren, the best definition I can give you for LTV is the value of a customer, not just the first time, but for the entire time. And with a very accurate mix of good targeting and using the targeting you have to build loyalty, you're going to increase the lifetime value for your business, multi-channel retail or otherwise. That's the buzzer. Time's up. If you're like Lauren from New York and you want a question answered on a future episode of The Playbook, send us an email. It is theplaybook@nanigans.com. I'm Eric Manser. Thanks for watching.